I'm going to be checking in with you all and asking you if you understand what the assignments were that we've done in the past to make sure people are keeping up with their work. And then we're going to be going and working on the checkpoint 3 pre-work today. Okay, so we're on checkpoint 3. We're steadily moving towards the end of the class. There's only, hey, Bella, how you doing, Isabella? Perfect timing. Let me write you down. We're just getting started, Isa.
Okay. You gonna record this live?
It's literally recording right now.
Okay. I'm here, but I have to go to the store.
No problem. No problem. You can watch the video, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna come if when I get back. Can I still join if it's not?
If you want, but remember, I can't restart the whole lesson though, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna send me the link or I have to go?
You'll get the link at the end of the you know how I always send one like a couple hours after the class gets done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get that same email.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Ron, how you doing? You good, Ron? Okay. So I'm going to check in with everybody and make sure that they've got their assignments for this class, that they know what they're supposed to have done. Then we're going to work on checkpoint 3. We're, again, steadily moving down. Like there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks left in school for this term. All right. So, you know, things are moving quick. We're getting to June and our break and graduation for the seniors and all that fun stuff. So we got stuff that we got to get done today. Okay, so we're going to go over to make sure people are following along about what they're supposed to have done, and then we're going to make sure that people do all the pre-work for checkpoint 3. Then I'll tell you what you need to do for homework this week or this week's assignments. And then we'll go. And of course, if we finish before noon, I will dismiss you and I'll be on the call until noon to answer questions for people and help them. Okay. So it's the same old now. Everybody should be pretty used to this. Okay. So let's jump right into a reminder of what work's supposed to have done. Now, again, this is the American History checklist. Malik, I believe it's, no, Malika Walker's in here. Okay. This one right here. This is the resource to track all your work. Hi, Shair. How you doing, bud? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Yo, Rogers.
How you doing? Good. This is perfect timing for you because this is going over what work's supposed to have been done, okay? So far. All right. So this is the American History lesson and assignment checklist. This is and I just posted it in the chat, the link, okay? So this shows the last 3 weeks worth of work. Week 4 is not on here. I'm going to add it at the end of class today. Okay. And so week 1, we went over what the project was. We're going to be working on an essay at the end of class, starting probably next week's the Constitution. The week after that is dealing with African Americans and women's role in the Revolution. So like week 6, so that's like beginning of June, we're going to start on the essay. And then we were learning about the origins of the American Revolution and what colonial America was like. You're supposed to watch these videos, answer these study questions. And then week 2, you needed to do checkpoint 1 and take this quiz on the origins of the American Revolution. Okay? This quiz on the origins of the American Revolution. All right. This was what was due for your progress report on Friday of last week. All right. So if you didn't get this stuff done, you're not going to be able to get the highest score on your progress report. Now, if you've been attending class, you'll still get credit and you'll still get partial credit for your progress report, but you won't get the full credit if you haven't done these 2 assignments right here. Checkpoint 1 on Summit and this quiz. Now, let me see if there's anybody. Let me open it up. Over here, let me see who's done the quiz in here and who hasn't. Quiz. Teaching American History quiz, Origins of the American Revolution quiz. So let's see. Isabella's done it. Kendra's done it. Nasir Wilkerson's done it. And those are the 3 people that were in this call that have done the quiz so far. Let me put the link in the quiz.
Mr. Rogers, I did it too.
Oh, and Malika, I didn't even realize you were here, Malika.
Period. All right. I'm
Period.
just trying to make sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. All right, you're good. You're good, Malika. I'm sorry, I got you down now, okay?
All right.
So, yes, I really didn't realize you were in the call. But, yes, you did it, and everybody passed, okay, who's taken the quiz so far. So nobody needs to redo anything. No one needs to do that, all right? So I'm going to put the link to the quiz in the chat for the call. Just to remind people, there's also the link to the quiz in this document. So you shouldn't have a problem getting access to it. And the thing about these quizzes is they're so much easier than the ones that were on Summit Learning. Okay, they're based entirely on the study questions that I wrote up here. So if you did these study questions, it would be really easy to do the quiz. All right, the quiz is not hard. It's only 10 questions. All right, it's multiple choice. All right, it's easy peasy. It's just to get me to try to get you all to watch my lectures and answer the study questions. And then, of course, checkpoint 1, we did most of the checkpoint 1 work as a whole class week 2, okay? So all you got to do is write that paragraph about why was the Stamp Act of 1765 so controversial. That's all you got to do. Now,
Where is that article
the article for what?
for checkpoint 1?
It's on Summit.
Oh, where?
So if you go to the checkpoint, let me load it. Great Britain's and the colonies. You should have 2 things shared with you. This is all the stuff I could share. The Stamp Act document set and the Stamp Act graphic organizer. That's what we worked from to use to answer this right here. Show here.
It's resources for everyone is right here.
Okay. Yep.
I found it.
No problem. All right. So let's go back over here. Then week 3, which wasn't on the last progress report, but will be on the next one. We did how did the Great Awakening or the Enlightenment contribute to the start of the American Revolution? Now, we didn't go over the Great Awakening stuff. I cut that. So all you need to do is talk about the Enlightenment, okay? And we did a video about it. There's the lesson video. And then all you had to do for this upcoming week was do the second checkpoint. There was no quiz, no additional stuff, no study questions, okay? So that's what you're supposed to have done so far in this class. Does everybody understand what work they're supposed to have done for this class so far? Everybody good? Are we ready to move on to today's stuff, or do you need me to answer any questions about the previous work?
Rogers, I need you to help me with checkpoint 2.
Kendra? Okay, at the end of the call, we can talk about it, okay?
All right.
Cool. Hey, Tamai. Nice to see you, Miss Madre.
Hi, Mr. Rogers.
Hey, we just went over the work. I'm gonna put a link to, again, I'm gonna post it in for the newcomers. I'm gonna post a link to this document in the chat so that folks can make sure they get the work, okay? Again, and I'll be updating this with what we're doing today, probably like right after class is done. So every day after class, if you want, at the end of the day, you can check here and it'll be updated and laid out exactly this way. Week 4 will go right down here between week 3 and additional resources. So again, it's designed, bookmark this page if you know how to bookmark, save it, whatever, so that like this is your guide to the rest of this class, all right? It's going to have everything that you need to have done, okay?
How do we save it?
Like you can go, so what you'd want to do is if you're on Chrome, you want to go up over here and you want to go to where it says bookmarks, bookmark this tab, okay? And that saves it so you can easily access it. Okay? All right. So we're going to jump on to Summit. Is anyone willing to let me use their Summit to show people how to find the work?
I guess you can use mine.
I appreciate that, Shayir. All right. You're getting some bonus points for doing that, Mr. Allen. All right. Shayir, Allen. Okay, there you go. Cool. All right. So we'll jump over here to view as. Now, when you first go into Summit again, here is the week view. The week view is the view that you want to when you boot up. Then we want to go over to the year view over here on the left side. And this gives you all the classes, right? And again, make sure you ignore your term 3 stuff because none of it's updated because the school district hasn't let us update our grades yet. And then you want to scroll down to where it says American history. should be one of the top ones up here. Founding of America DBQ. That's what you want to do. And you want to click on it, and there should be 3 checkpoints. Checkpoint 1, Great Britain and the Colonies. Checkpoint 2, Ideas Spark Revolution. And checkpoint 3, Declaration of Independence. Okay? And now we're working on the Declaration of Independence here. Okay? And there should be just one thing right here.
Yeah, Mr. Roger, what did you say to go to?
I'm sorry, what, Ron? You need me to go back?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
All right, so you want to go to year view, okay? You're in the year view. Just remember, it's on the left side here, and you want to click year, and then you should give you all of your classes you've ever had with us, right? And then the American history class should be one of the top ones because it's A, and over here it says Founding of America. So look on the right side where it says Founding of America DBQ. Do you see it? Ron?
You said Founding of America?
DBQ, yep, it should look like this, right here on the right side.
I mean, I don't see that.
To the top. Let me make sure that you're in my class.
Yeah, my babies.
Make sure that it's on the. You're in my class. I think you are. Answer to Ron. Let's see. Yeah, you're in the class, Ron. So it should be right here in the Founding of America on the right, on the far right side. Okay. All right, I got to respond to a kid who can't log into his computer. But Ron, were you able to find it?
You said go to year.
So go to year view.
Go to year view and do what?
And on the right side, under where it says American history, there should be a box that says Founding of America DBQ. Okay.
Okay, I'm at that.
All right, click on that, and it should take you to the project. We're working on checkpoint 3. Okay. All right. All right. So is everybody at checkpoint 3 now?
I'm doing checkpoint 1 right now.
Well, you should try to be following along with us at checkpoint 3, Shahir. All right. So you want to click. Yep. Where's my work email? Here it is. Make me log back in. Oh my God. Summit's being weird. Okay. Let me drag this over. All right. So let's go to American history. All right. So everybody is everybody at the Declaration of Independence task? Is that where everybody is? You want to do the Declaration of Independence task. All right. So let me copy it over, and I'll create a new tab with this thing in here. Okay. So, all right, and it should look like this. It should say Declaration of Independence task. Complete the following steps in order to better understand the Declaration of Independence and why colonists no longer want to be part of Great Britain. There are 2 steps that we're going to be doing today, or 3 steps that we're going to be doing today. The first is we're going to read short excerpts from 2 historians, Bernard Bailyn and Howard Zinn, talking about the Declaration of Independence, all right, and why they thought the Declaration of Independence was written. That's part 1. Part 2, we're going to read part of the grievance section of the Declaration of Independence, which was the part where the colonists were complaining about the King of England and saying why they wanted to break away from England. And we're going to go over it. And then step 3, we're going to be answering these 3 questions together. Do the grievances seem to be things that upset rich people or everyone? And answering these questions, okay? So these are the 3 steps that we're going to be doing all for class. And then when this is done, you will be ready to work on checkpoint 3. And I have another assignment about the Declaration of Independence that I want you all to work on. All right? So does it make sense to everybody what we're going to be doing today in class? Does anyone have any questions about what we're going to be doing in class? And does anybody have any questions about finding the work? Are we good? Is everybody got this open right here? Ron, did you get this open?
Got what?
The Declaration of Independence task, the same sheet.
Can't see anything.
Kendra's got it. You can't see anything?
Where paragraph at?
So, all right, let me go back here. Let me go to your view. Give me 1 second. View as you. On view as you, and I'm going to bring this over to the screen sharing. Okay, everybody should see this. This is Ron's view. And then Ron, you are in American history, which is right here, Founding of America DBQ. And then, are you on this page, Ron? To Ron. Founding of America DBQ, are you there? Okay, so we want Declaration of Independence right here, okay? And you see where it says resources for everyone? When you click on 3, Declaration of Independence, it should look like this. Up here's the checkpoint. Down here is the Declaration of Independence task. Okay? Do you see this? Do you see this? Okay. Sure. We can wait just a minute. All right. Does anybody else have any questions about the work? Does anybody else have any questions about what we're supposed to be dealing while Ron tries to figure it out? All right.
No, I see it.
You see it? You got everything? So you're good. All right. And Kendra said earlier, Denim, Malika, Nazir, Nasir, do either of you see it? You good? Feel free to say in the chat too if you don't want to talk.
Yeah, I'm there.
Cool, you're there. All right. So, Ron, are you able to see something now? Like, did you get to this view, this checkpoint 3? Tehran? Is he gone? I guess he's gone. Okay. So we'll just jump into the work and I can help him when he comes back. All right. So we're here in the Declaration of Independence task. So we're going to start here with step 1, read the perspectives of 2 historians. We're going to read the following historian interpretation and answer the questions below about each document, okay? So document A is historian interpretation number 1. All right, so this is from Bernard Bailyn and a very famous book that he wrote about the origins of the American Revolution. I've read it many, many times when I was a professional historian. It's a very, very famous book, and Bernard Bailyn's a very famous historian, okay? And here's what he had to say about the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence represents the colonists' deepest fears and beliefs. The colonists believed that they saw a clear pattern in the events that followed 1763. They believed they saw an evil and deliberate conspiracy to crush liberty in America. They saw evidence of this conspiracy in the Stamp Act and the Coercive Acts. They also believed that America was destined to play a special role in history. They believed America would become, quote, the foundation of a great and mighty empire, the largest the world had ever saw, to be founded on such principles of liberty, freedom, both civil and religious, end quote. The colonists believed that England was trying to enslave them and that they should use, quote, all power which God has given them, end quote, to protect themselves. All right? I will read this again, and this is what Bernard Bailyn had to say about the Declaration of Independence. All right? So, here's what Bernie's got to say. The Declaration of Independence represents the colonists' deepest fears and beliefs. The colonists believed that they saw a clear pattern in the events that followed 1763. They believed they saw an evil and deliberate conspiracy to crush liberty in America. They saw evidence of this conspiracy in the Stamp Act and in the Coercive Acts. They also believed that America was destined to play the role in history. A special role in history. They believed that America would become the foundation of a great and mighty empire, the largest the world ever saw, to be founded on such principles of liberty and freedom, both civil and religious. The colonists believed that England was trying to enslave them, that they should use all power which God has given them to protect themselves. Okay? So, according to Bernie, according to Bernard Bailyn, what inspired the founding fathers? What inspired the people that wrote the Declaration of Independence to write it? What do we think, according to what Balin had to say?
I guess because they were scared that England was going to like challenge the stuff that we had going on in the U.S.
Yes, good. So the first thing, as Shahir said, right? People were afraid that the English were going to challenge what was going on in America and hold back our success and what we have going on over here. Excellent. That's a great first point to put in here. Excellent, 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 Shahir. All right, this is a virtual fist bump for you, even though it looks like I'm punching you in the face. All right.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So what we want to say here is part one of what Bernie's got going on here is that England is, going to screw up what America's got going on here. It's going to...
Where did you find that?
What's your...
That wasn't me.
Oh, Tehran, I'm sorry.
No, it's Tehran.
You still can't find it? Okay.
No, I see it now, but
okay.
I don't know
So
where
we are is so you should have been on this view, right? Did you click Declaration of Independence task here at checkpoint 3? So this is the project view, and are you in the project view?
Okay.
So you want to make sure you go to your American History Project view from the year view, okay? Again, here's the year view for you. All right, we want to scroll down to where it says American History, Founding of America, DBQ. All right, and then click on it and go to the project view. Are you on this view right here? It says Founding of America, DBQ up here on the top left, and it's got the 3 checkpoints, 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? All right, so now you want to click on Declaration of Independence. That's the third one. And we're working right here from where it says Declaration of Independence Task. Excuse me. That's where we are, right here. You want to click on that, and it should open up and be this document right here. Okay?
Okay.
Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. So we barely gotten started. So you haven't missed much. We're just now trying to figure out what this historian, Bernard Balin, or Bernie, had to say about the Declaration of Independence and why the founders came up with it, why the people who wrote the Declaration, why they wrote it. And Shahir made a really good point, and that they saw that England was going to be messing up what was going on in America, what we got going on here, and people were afraid of that the British were coming for our liberty, they were coming for our freedom, and that Americans didn't want anything to do with that anymore. That's a really good point that Shahir made. So that's point 1 of what Bernie is making here. So the first point, again, that Bernard Balin is making is that the colonists were afraid that Britain was going to screw up what was going on in America, ruin what's going on. We're trying to take away people's freedoms, trying to take away their liberty, and mess up what we had going on over here. All right, that's what the first thing you want to write in the box I have highlighted here. Okay, when we're analyzing what Bernard Balin had to say. Okay, does that make sense to everybody that's in here? Oh, hey Denise, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I didn't see that you joined the call. How are you? All right, so there's one more point we want to pull out of here before we move on to the second historian. And that is, what did Americans believe was their role in history? Like, according to Bernie. Like, did Americans think that they were special? Did Americans think that their country was worthless, that they had no future, that there was nothing valuable? What was going on? How did Americans think of themselves? Okay, and
they saw like a lot of potential.
Yes, excellent. Excellent point, Shahir. Yes, Americans saw a lot of potential in their country, that they had this special role in history, right? That, as what Bernie is saying here, he's saying that Americans saw themselves as having this big future for the world, that there would be this bastion of freedom, that everybody would be free, and all the good stuff that we like about our society, freedom, power, all the good stuff, okay? So we want to make sure that we add that into the box where we're talking about what Bernie had to say about how the founders wrote the Declaration of Independence. There's the first point. all right, which was that they were afraid. They were afraid that Britain was going to screw up all the good stuff that Americans had going for them, take away their freedoms, take away their liberty. And on the other hand, the other point Bernie is making here is that he's saying, look, Americans also saw themselves as special. They saw themselves as being able to make a country that's powerful and free and amazing and great. So on one hand, they're afraid of the British and afraid of the British taking away their freedom. And on the other hand, they also see the potential, as Shahir said, right? That their country has a lot of good things going for it, and they want to make those good things possible. All right, so those are the 2 points about what Bernie has to say about the Declaration of Independence that we want to make sure that we put in this box. Again, this box that I've highlighted. All right, that's where you want to write this stuff. And that's where you want to make sure you have these 2 points. First, about how they were scared.
Where are we writing this at?
What?
Where are we writing this at?
Do you see where, Ron, do you see where I highlighted right here where it says, according to this historian, what inspired the founding fathers to write the Declaration of Independence?
Okay.
That's where you write it, okay?
All right.
Cool.
I didn't know where to write it.
No problem. Again, it's highlighted on the screen. Does anybody else have any other questions? That's a really good question, Ron, to make sure we know where it is. Kendra?
What were we writing in the box?
So we're writing the 2 points that I've said over and over again. First, that what Bernie had to say was that Americans were afraid of England, that they were afraid that England was going to take away their freedom. And the other thing is that they had a positive view. They said, hey, look, we also have all this potential. We could be this awesome free country, and we want to make it that way. All right, so those are the 2 things that Bernie is saying here, okay? Does that make sense, Kendra?
No.
No, it doesn't make sense. Okay, what doesn't make sense? What's your question?
So everything you just said, I just put it in their box.
Yeah, in your own words. Yep. You don't have to say exactly what I said.
Oh, okay.
All right, you just put just the kind of things we're talking about. That's a really good question, Kendra, and I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Other folks got questions, clarification that they need. All right, let me know in the chat or verbally when you've gotten this written down, okay? You can say it out loud or you can just put it in the chat, all right? I'm looking at the chat right now.
What was the second point?
The second point was that Americans saw their country as special and having a lot of potential and could definitely build a big, powerful, free country.
I got it.
You got it? Oh, cool. Shahir's got it. Other folks? Tamai, you got it?
I'm not on my computer.
Oh, so you're just listening along at home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem. Well, do you understand what's going on?
Right.
Yep.
Something
What's up?
like that.
You
Okay.
said they seen their country as special and what?
It has a lot of potential. Okay. So how about Malika, Denise, Denham, Nazir or Nasir? Do either of you have yours done? Are you good? Let me know in the chat if you want to talk.
I'm good, Mr. Rogers.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'm good.
You're all right. Good. Awesome. Ron, you good?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We ready to move on then? Okay.
Yep.
So let's move on to the second historian. This is a historian named Howard Zinn. All right. And he wrote a book called People's History of the United States. All right. Now, Howie over here, you know, he has a very different perspective on the Declaration of Independence from Bernie. Okay. So let's look real quick at what Howie has to say. All right. So this is his interpretation. It seemed clear to the educated upper-class colonists that something needed to be done to persuade the lower classes to join the revolutionary cause, to direct their anger against England, the solution to which was to find language inspiring all classes, specific enough in listing its grievances to fill people with anger against the British, vague enough to avoid cause conflict, and stirring enough to build patriotic feelings. Everything the Declaration of Independence was about: popular control over governments, the right of rebellion and revolution, fury at political tyranny, economic burdens, and military attacks, was well suited to unite large numbers of colonists and persuade even those who had grievances against one another to turn against England. Some Americans were clearly omitted from those united by the Declaration of Independence: Indians, black slaves, and women. All right, so this again is what Howie had to say about the Declaration of Independence. I'm going to go one more time. All right, here's what he had to say. It seemed clear to the educated upper-class colonists that something needed to be done to persuade the lower class to join the revolutionary cause, to direct their anger against England, the solution to which was to find language inspiring all classes, specific enough in its listing of grievances to fill people with anger against the British, vague enough to avoid class conflict, and stirring enough to build patriotic feelings. Everything the Declaration of Independence was about, popular control over governments, the right of rebellion and revolution, fury at political tyranny, economic burdens, and military attacks, was well suited to unite large numbers of colonists and persuade even those who had grievances against one another to turn against England. Some Americans were clearly omitted by those united by the Declaration of Independence: Indians, black slaves, and women. Okay? So that's what Howie had to say about the Declaration of Independence. Okay? So we're going to go with the first question, same question we had initially for Bernie. And we're going to be writing it here in this box that I'm highlighted right here. All right, so what did Howie have to say? What is his argument about the Declaration of Independence? How is he describing it?
Well, towards the end, he was basically saying not everybody had like the same, the same rules.
Or the same rights, right?
Or the same rights.
Yeah, right. Excellent. So the Declaration of Independence isn't for everyone. That's the first thing we want to write. Yes, that's exactly what he's saying here. All right. Hey, Manaya, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Hey,
all right. Yeah. Hey, so we're working on checkpoint 3 on Summit, okay?
Okay.
For class. So go to American History, go to checkpoint 3, and we're working from Declaration of Independence task. I can show you right here real quick. All right. When you go to checkpoint 3, you want to click on this thing right here that I just highlighted. Declaration of Independence task. That will bring you to the document that we're all working from right now. All right, Manaya?
Okay.
Cool. All right. So Shair made a really great point. Virtual fist bump / punch in the face, virtual punch in the face. What we've got going on here is he's saying that the Declaration is not for everyone. Yes, it's not treating everybody the same. It's excluding what 3 groups of people? What 3 groups of people are excluded from the Declaration of Independence according to Howie?
Are you talking about the people that are not supposed to be in that category?
Yeah, who are the 3 people that are excluded? It's right there at the end of what he's saying.
Oh, I was on mute. Is women's, black slaves, and Indians.
Yes, good. Excellent. Yes. So he's saying that the Declaration of Independence wasn't for everybody. It excluded black people, Indians, and women. Okay? So these are the 3 people, the 3 groups that the Declaration of Independence excluded, according to Howie. So Howie's like, look, these 3 groups of people were just left out of the Declaration. It wasn't about them. It didn't help them. It didn't do anything for them. Okay? So that's what we want to say is our first point in this box under A. The first point is he's saying, look, the Declaration of Independence wasn't for everyone. It excluded people, and particularly excluded 3 groups: Indians, black slaves, and women. These 3 groups were left out. These 3 groups were left out of the Declaration of Independence. Okay? Does that make sense to folks? Has everybody got that one?
I'm still.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
yes,
I'm still trying to figure out what you told me to click on because I can't find that.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second, Manaya, and then I'll answer your question, Ron, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you want to be at your year view right here, right? And you want to look under American History, right? Where it says Founding of America, DBQ, Manaya. Do you see this on your timeline under year?
Yes, Founding of America.
Of America, DBQ. Click on it. It should take you to this view right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're working on checkpoint 3, which is right here, Declaration of Independence. Make sure you click on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives you two options. One's the checkpoint up here, and then down here it says Declaration of Independence task. That's what you want to click on.
Okay.
And it should take you right to this document. We're working under document B, historian interpretation number 2. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have it now.
You have it now? Cool. Awesome. Now to answer, go back and I'll answer Ron's question. All right. So Ron, what the first point we want under question A, according to this historian, what inspired the founding fathers to write the Declaration of Independence? All right. We're saying that the Declaration of Independence excluded black people, Indians, well, black slaves, Indians, and women. Does that make sense, Ron? That those 3 groups are not included. Those 3 groups were not included.
You said the three groups wasn't included.
Yep. Indians, black slaves, and women.
Or a woman.
Those 3 groups were not included in the Declaration. They were left out. They were excluded. They were not allowed. All right. They were drawn by letting them, not bringing them in there. Period. All right. Okay. So then we need to do one more point. We need to directly address, and it's up in this first paragraph, what was the point of the Declaration of Independence according to Howie? Who wrote it? What was its goal? And I highlighted the section we want to look at. All right. What was its goal? What is Howie saying? What were people trying to do with it? So they're leaving out black people. They're leaving out women. They're leaving out Indians. Okay, cool. We got that. That's the first thing. But we also need to think about what was the point? Like, what were they trying to do?
They wanted the lower class to join the revolutionary cause.
Period. Yes. Good job. Boom. Yes. That was a virtual fist pump, which, again, looks like a punch in the face. All right. Excellent. Excellent, Alston. Yes. Yes. The goal of the Declaration of Independence is to get poor people, to get lower class people to join the revolution, to support this revolution by rich people. Yes, the goal of the Declaration was to get poor people to support rich people's revolution. The goal of the Declaration of Independence was to get poor people to support rich people's revolution. The goal of the Declaration of Independence was to get poor people to support a rich person's revolution. That's the 2 things that we want to make sure that we have under A. 1, the Declaration of Independence excluded Indians, black slaves, women. Point 2, it was the goal of the Declaration was to get poor people to support rich people's revolution. Those are the 2 points. Shair and Alston did an excellent job. Alan and Alston, AA, they did a great job pointing out these 2 points, all right, about this document of what Howie is arguing about the Declaration. All right. On one hand, it's excluding black people. It's excluding women. It's excluding Indians. On the other hand, it's about trying to get poor people to join a rich man's revolution. Those are the 2 points Howie's making here. Really good job, folks. Let me know when everybody's got A. You can say out loud when you've written your answer to A, or you can say it in the chat if you don't feel comfortable talking. Okay?
I'm done.
All right. Shair's done. How about Denham, Denise, Kendra, Malika, Nazir? Let me know in the chat.
I'm done.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
Ron's got it. How about you, Malika? Kendra?
Y'all already did.
Yeah, I got it.
Document A, right?
Yeah, we already did document A. All right. All right. So cool. Let's move on to B then. Since it seems like most people got it, I'm gonna wait 5 seconds, and if anybody's got questions about A, I'll answer them. But after 5 seconds, we're moving on.
To support their revolution, right, Raj?
Yes, it was to get poor people to support a rich person's revolution, Kendra. Does that make sense? That's a great question. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Restarting the countdown. All right, cool. Let's move on to B. All right, now this is a cool question. This is the kind of stuff that, like I love about history and historians and stuff, is how does Bernie's interpretation of the Declaration of Independence differ from Howie's? All right, so the question for B is, how is this historian's interpretation similar and different to the first historian's interpretation? Do they agree? Do they disagree? I'm going to give you a spoiler. They disagree. Okay. All right. So how does Howie and how do Bernie disagree with each other? Like, what's different about their perspectives? Is one positive and one negative? Is one friendly to the Declaration of Independence and one unfriendly? Does one think the Declaration is awesome, the good shit, and one person thinks that the Declaration is Reggie, that thinks it's doing too much, it's extra, it's drawn? What's going on?
I'm muted. So I think Howard thinks it's extra.
All right, Howard thinks it's extra good. He's negative towards it, right? Yes, that's exactly right. Howard thinks that the Declaration is bad. It's drawn.
And I don't know who the other person is. Like,
that's the person that we started with, Bernie.
Oh, in the first document?
The first document, yep.
Oh.
Okay, so excellent. So the first thing we want to write under B here is that Howard is negative towards the Declaration. He doesn't like it. He thinks it's bad. Or at least not good, if you want to be more generous, okay? He thinks it's bad. All right? Because again, let's go back. You don't have to write this down, but I just want to, reinforce. He's saying that, rich people were trying to basically trick poor people into supporting something that would help them and not poor people. That's bad. It left out women. It left out slaves. It left out Indians. Like this, the Declaration is not good, is what Howie is saying. Okay? Howie is saying that the Declaration of Independence is not good. That it's not about helping most people. It's about helping what kind of people?
Rich.
Rich. Yes. Excellent. Good job. You're kicking ass today, Shahir.
Well, this is my first time joining the class, though.
Okay. Well, if you keep it up like this, you'll be fine. All right. Does anybody have any questions about Howie's point of view? POV.
Oh, he's basically saying that that he felt like the U.S. country had a lot of potential, or they thought that they had a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that Bernie, the first one, is it positive or negative towards the Declaration?
Kind of positive.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So
not bad, but
Bernie's
really good.
No, you're exactly right, Shahir. Bernie is much more positive about the Declaration. All right. So the first document, document A, is positive. Bernie is positive towards the Declaration. Again, it's about protecting people from tyranny, from protecting people from the British stealing their rights, taking their liberties, their freedoms. All right. And seeing all this potential in America and how everything's going to be great. So while we've got Howie, document B, Howard Zinn, saying, no, the Declaration is negative. It's bad. We've got document A, we've got Bernard Balin, we've got Bernie. He's saying the Declaration is good, that it's about protecting people from British tyranny, protecting people from getting their rights taken away, their freedoms, their liberties getting taken away. And America has all this amazing potential. Okay? Does that make sense to folks for what we're answering to B? Bottom line, TLDR. Bernie is positive towards the Declaration. Howie is negative. Bernie is positive. Howie is negative towards the Declaration. Does that make sense to folks?
Read it one more time.
Yep. So, on one hand, you've got Bernie, document A. He's positive towards the Declaration. He's saying, look, it's great. It's about protecting people from tyranny, protecting their liberty, protecting their freedom. America's got all this awesome potential. Howie, on the other hand, Howard Zinn, document B, he's like, no, this is negative. It excludes black slaves. It excludes Indians. It excludes women. It's all about rich people convincing poor people to fight a revolution that helps rich people, not poor people. Okay? He's negative towards it. So document A is positive towards it. Document B is negative towards it. Does that make sense to folks? Do people got it?
Yes. Did you do document B, letter B, or you just
Yeah? This is all document. This is letter B. What I just told you.
Okay.
Good question, Malika. Good question. You're staying on top of things. I appreciate you. All right, Denim.
You said document A is what?
Positive towards the Declaration of Independence. All right, and document B is negative. Great question, Wilkerson. Great question. All right, folks, we're about halfway done with what we're going to be doing today. You're doing good. You're doing good. I appreciate y'all. You're kicking butt today, taking names. This is
Rogers, what did you say that Bernie said about the Declaration?
He was negative towards it. No, Bernie, the first one. Sorry, Bernie's positive. Excuse me. Bernie is positive. He is all about it being good, right? It's about protecting people's freedoms. They're protecting their liberties, saving them from getting that stolen by the British, and saying America's got all this potential, that they're awesome. Great question, Kendra.
And B was negative.
B was negative. Yes, Ron. Excellent. You got it, man. Good job. Fist bump. All right. We ready to move on to part 2? Numero dos. The only Spanish I can say. Besides conjugating the word to go. I can definitely do that. Voy, vas, vamos, van, vamos. All right. All right. So we're on step 2. We're going to read the grievances of the Declaration of Independence. Now, the grievance of the Declaration of Independence was the list of complaints that colonists had about the king and about the British. Okay? And we're going to break them into different categories. Okay? So below are most of the grievances from the Declaration of Independence. Determine if the grievance applies to all or only to the rich and powerful in society. If the grievance seems to be something that would only affect the rich and powerful, write O for only the rich and powerful. So down here, if you look at number 1 and 2, there's this little line here, right here. You would put O. If this only affects rich people and powerful people, you want to put an O next to it. Okay? If a grievance seems to be something that would affect all colonists, write an A for all the colonists. And if we don't know, if we can't figure it out, we'll put a question mark. Okay? Does this make sense, what we're doing for step 2? We're going to read as a whole class. We're going to read these, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of 10 of the grievances. And there's like 27 or 28 of them in the actual document. And we are going to say which ones only are about the rich and powerful and which ones are affecting all colonists. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Folks following? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So I'll read grievance 1 and 2. He has refused to pass and forbidden his governors to pass important and necessary laws. Repeating that one more time. He has refused to pass and forbidden his governors to pass important and necessary laws. All right. Is that something that impacts everybody or only rich and powerful people?
Everybody.
Everybody? Did you all agree with Shair? You can say in chat. You can say out loud. Do you think Shair's got this? What do we think? Come on, folks. You can just, again, type it in the
I was
chat.
going to say, oh.
Oh, why only the rich and people? Rich and powerful, Nasir. Why only the rich and powerful?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was like reading it and it like looked good.
Well, does everybody want good laws? Like whether you're rich or poor, do you want good laws?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Right? We all want good laws. You know, I want good laws, you want good laws, Bill Gates wants good laws, and necessary ones to fix our problems, right? So I would agree with Shair here and say that 1 and 2 is something that impacts everybody. So I think you should put an A, but if you disagree with me, that's cool, and you can put an O. But I think we should put an A there because I do think that this grievance affects everybody because everybody wants good government. Everybody wants necessary laws being passed down to today. All right, Malika, you agree with that? Cool. Awesome. All right. So again, in this little line right here, you can type an A or an O depending on what side you agree with. Okay? And I'm going to move on to grievance 5 and 6. Okay. He has broken up certain legislatures that opposed him and refused to let others be elected. And again, what this grievance is he has broken up certain legislatures that opposed him and refused to let others be elected. Now, legislatures is one of those words that's like hard, but it basically means like the House of Representatives that we have in Harrisburg today. It's the people who make laws. A legislature are the people who pass laws. The city council is a legislature. The House of Delegates and the state senate in Harrisburg is a legislature. The Congress, House of Representatives and the Senate, that's a legislature. So what this grievance is saying is that the king's coming in and saying, no, Pennsylvania, you can't make your own laws. No, Massachusetts, you can't make your own laws. No, Virginia, you can't make your own laws. All right? And he's saying you can't make laws anymore. So is this something that's only going to affect rich people or is it going to affect everybody?
Everybody.
Okay. Malika says O. Why do you say O, Malika? And then I'll go to Shair because I saw the O first, and then I'll ask Shair. So why do we think it's O? All right. Well, Malika's typing. Shair, why do you think it's everybody?
Because they're making rules that affect everybody.
So, like, Harrisburg not being able to make laws would affect everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the city council not being able to pass laws would affect everybody. Okay, that's a good point. Malika, do you have anything that disagrees with that?
I put O at first, but then I looked at it like that because they are making rules for
everybody. Okay, that's a great point. Do people agree or disagree with Shair, or are they more thinking like Malika? What do people think? Come on, let's share out. Let's do it. I know I got some talkers in here. Kendra, Tamai, Alston. Come on. Let's do it.
What was the question again? My bad.
So the question is, for this grievance, he has broken up certain legislatures that opposed him and refused to let others be elected. So he's saying that the people who are making laws in different colonies, they're getting broken up by the king, and he's not letting new ones meet. Would that affect everybody in the colonies or only rich people? So imagine like if Trump came in and said, you know what, Harrisburg, you can't meet. All those people in Harrisburg making laws, you can't meet. Or Trump came in and went to the city council and said, you can't make rules anymore for Philly. You can't pass laws anymore for Philly. Would that affect only rich people or would that affect everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody? Okay, I agree. So I think that we should probably put an A there for all colonists. But again, if you disagree, that's cool. Like, it's okay to have a different point of view. All right. So, but I would think for 5 and 6, we would definitely also say everybody. Okay. So he has refused. This is 8 and 9. He has refused to establish courts of justice, and he has made judges dependent on him for their jobs and salaries. He has refused to establish courts of justice, and he has made judges dependent on him and his salaries. Now, what this means is this is accusing the king of failing to create courts, and then whatever courts there are, the judges owe all their allegiance to the king, and they're biased. That they're not deciding fairly, they are biased against colonists. They make decisions that favor the king, not colonists. That the judges are biased. So on one hand, the king isn't setting up courts, and on the other hand, whatever courts we do have are really biased. Would that affect everybody, or would that affect only rich people? What do we think?
Everybody.
Okay. People agree or disagree with Shair? Let's sound out, folks. Come on. Let's do it.
But I just can't say the question over again.
Yep. So he's saying what the document is saying is he refused to establish courts of justice, which means that the king is not setting up courts. He's not, creating criminal courts. He's not creating, judicial courts. They can decide like civil courts. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. That decide like lawsuits. And what judges they do have are dependent on the king for their jobs and salaries, so they're biased. So he's saying, look, the king's not setting up enough courts, and what courts we do have are biased against us. They're biased. Would that affect only rich people, or do you agree with Shair and say that would affect everybody? What do people think?
That would affect everybody because if they're not making courts and stuff, everybody gonna be going crazy.
Yep, that sounds good to me, right? And the biased, right? Nobody wants biased justice. Look at our courts today; they're pretty biased, and that's not good for us, right?
Right.
Yeah. So biased courts affect everybody. Okay, cool. All right, so I would definitely put an A here for all. That seems good. All right, now we're going to get into some of the harder ones. 10. He has sent swarms of British officers to harass our people and eat our food. Okay. Now, this one's a little bit more complicated. So he's saying that tons of British soldiers are coming in and harassing people, hitting on people, going to the bars, getting rowdy, and then taking people's food, eating their stuff.
That's A.
That's A. That would affect everybody?
Yes, because why is they just attacking random people?
Okay, good. Does anybody agree or disagree with Shair?
They're not attacking rich people.
Okay. Well, they are. Well, whose food do you think they're stealing? They go into like a poor person's house and taking their food?
Like poor, like middle class, whoever not rich, like whoever in the community.
Okay. What do you think, Ron? Is this how you unmute? Okay. Do you think that affects everybody?
Agree with
Shair?
Kind of taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it could affect the government if like people start rebelling and start fighting against that and don't want that to happen no more. But then stay with it.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I think I do agree. I think this. Yeah, what's up, Nazir?
Something wrong with like my computer.
What do you mean?
So like I'm clicking on the joint to like tap the
Wait.
so like you can like know how to like enter it. Soon I click on it, it starts deleting all this stuff, like all the joint.
Is your backspace like button like stuck? Why don't you try feeling your backspace button and make sure that it's not stuck?
All right, hold on, let me see. That was crazy.
Okay.
Let me try that next. All right, now it's working. But like half of my
right,
questions going.
Okay, well you can press the undo button, like Control Z usually undoes. So that's the bottom left hand corner. There's Control C TRL, control, and then the letter Z, usually undoes stuff.
You said control what? Control
Z. Control Z, if you want to quote Canadians. Okay. All right, so we said for the 10th one that swarms of British officers harass our people and eat our food. We said that affects everybody. All right, so he has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislature. So the king is putting in this army in America that, you know, we didn't have anything to do with, we didn't have anything to say about, that, you know, the army's just here doing what the king wants and we got no say over it. Would that affect everybody or only really rich and powerful people? Would your average colonist really care very much about that?
Only rich and powerful people, Raj. They wouldn't care.
Yeah, I think that's not the kind of thing that would really affect like your everyday thing. You're just a, you know, like a worker, or, you know, you work at a tavern, you work at the docks, you know, you're a farmhand, you know, like the fact that there's this army hanging around, is it really going to affect you? Not really. I don't think so. Like rich people it might affect because, you know, the army could be messing with what they want to be doing. It could be stopping them from doing what they want to do. But if you're just an average person, are you going to have a lot of interaction with that stuff? All right. How about, let's go down to the next one then. All right. For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. So they're accusing the king
What's the next one we on?
We're on 16 right here. For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world.
Wait, what was 8 and 9? I ain't do 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12.
Okay,
I was talking to somebody.
Well, we said that 8 and 9, we said that affected everybody. And we said that number 10 affected everybody. And then 11 and 12, we said really only would affect rich people. Okay, Turan?
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so this one, for cutting off trade with all parts of the world, excuse me. So that's accusing the king of cutting off trade between America and the rest of the world. Would that affect everybody or only rich people? Would that affect rich people or everybody? Not being able to trade with any part of the world.
Rich people.
Repeat that again.
So being able to.
Rich people.
Okay, sorry, I stuttered myself out of coherence there. What this is saying, he's saying for cutting off trade with all parts of the world. They're accusing the king of cutting off trade between America and the rest of the world. Shahir's saying it's only rich people would be affected by that. Okay.
Oh, no, I think everybody.
It's everybody? I think that's actually a little bit closer because, you know, it's going to mostly affect rich people because they're the ones who are making the big bucks. But if you were, like, think about what's going on today, right? Like, lots of people are out of jobs because we can't trade it as much, right? We're not shipping things throughout the world. We can't buy stuff from China right now.
Or say if they like trading salt.
Yeah, trading salt, crops.
And they can't get no salt.
Yeah, they can't get salt. They can't get sugar. If you've got a bunch of corn that you want to sell, you can't sell it, right? So it's mostly affecting rich people, but you could lose your job. If your rich boss can't trade and you work at a dock, are you going to keep your job or lose your job? Lose your job, yeah. Just like what's going on today, right? Like we got lots of rich people who can't do their rich people stuff because of the virus, and people are losing their jobs. Okay. All right. And then this one should be pretty easy. For imposing our taxes without our consent. So this is accusing the king of taxing people without their permission. Would that affect everybody or only rich people?
Everybody. Yeah,
nobody likes to be taxed without their permission, right? And like think about the soda tax. People did not like that, right? All right. So for imposing taxes without our consent, we got that one. All right. Here's another pretty easy one. For depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury. Would not be able to have trial by jury affect just rich people or everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay, cool. I agree. Every trial by jury is really important. It's like what saves our criminal justice system sometimes. Okay.
The next one, A.
The next one is, yep, he has waged war against us, has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, and burned our towns. Okay, and destroyed the lives of our people. Okay, that's saying the king declared war on us. If the king is invading your country and burning your town down, is that going to just affect rich people, or is everybody? Everybody, yep. So,
Wait,
18
Rogers,
was
what
everybody,
18?
right? Kendra? Or was that Kendra?
No, that was me.
No, who asked the question? Okay.
No, that was
yeah.
me. That
so
was
Kendra,
me.
yeah. So for 18 and 23, 24, that affects everybody, right? Because, if you end up in the trouble with the courts, you want a trial by jury, right? That's better than just having a judge decide for you. And then 20.
Okay, 16 was
Yeah, because
everybody
that's the
too,
king
right?
declaring war. All right. Now, this one's super racist. So this was the Declaration of Independence being super racist. He started fights among us and has forced us to live near merciless Indian savages. Ugh. That's a pretty racist way to refer to Indians. All right. So would that affect only rich people, or would that affect everybody?
Well, who was living there? Indian people.
Who was living there during Indian people? Was it your average colonist, or was it rich people who really worried about that?
It was probably like the people that they had doing the wars for them.
I didn't hear you there, Shayer. I'm sorry.
I said it was probably like the soldiers that they had.
The soldiers? Okay, yeah. And do you think like people wanted to move out there down by where the Native Americans lived to get more land, or was it only something that rich people had to deal with? I don't know. I think this is something that's trying to appeal to the racism and bigotry of your average person, because a lot of white people didn't like Indians at this time. And we've talked about that if you go to the Colonial America lectures that I did. Like there's a lot of racism and discrimination and wars fought against Native Americans for land and for resources. So basically, this part of the Declaration is trying to appeal to everyone by appealing to their racism and their bigotry against Native people, against Native Americans, against Indians.
White people really be, well, some white people really be the problem.
Well, you could just you didn't have to say some white people. White people really be the problem. You didn't have to qualify yourself, Shayer. But yeah, I agree. All right. So basically, almost all of these, what were they targeted at? Everybody, or are they only rich people? Yes, they're targeted at everybody. Good job, Ron. Fist bump. All right. So the last thing we're going to do today as a whole group is answer step 3. All right. And we just answered it. Number 1. Do these grievances seem to be things that upset rich people or everyone? What did we agree on? It seemed to be stuff that upsets what? Come on, folks. We just did it.
Everyone.
Everyone. Yes. Great job, Wilkerson. Yes. It's something. These are grievances that upset everyone. Everyone.
I'm trying to take my progress.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So yes, for number 1, we want to say these grievances are things that upset rich or everyone. Everyone. Okay. Now we get to a trickier one for number 2, though. But does everybody have number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. Number 2. Do you think these complaints would give people reason to go to war and possibly die? Why or why not? If this list was presented to you saying these are the things that these people are doing against us, that Trump's doing against us, that some bad government is doing against us, would this be enough for you to want to fight and possibly die to defeat that evil government?
I wouldn't, but I think like for back in the day, they would.
Mm-hmm. You think for back in the day, this is enough to get people to declare war?
Yep, of
Okay,
course,
why?
because
Why,
they had
Shayna?
more control over people. So people didn't have like a choice to go to the army or or fight for their country. They would have made them go if it was a problem.
That still happens today.
But they don't make random people go. They make people that sign up for it go.
That's true. But we could, if we got into a big giant war, the government would definitely force people. Like as recently as like, do you know anybody in your family that like fought in Vietnam?
Actually I do.
Yeah, like most people who fought in Vietnam were forced. Like maybe people's uncles or great uncles. I have an uncle who served very briefly in Vietnam, and a bunch of my friends' parents or their aunts, their uncles did. Like they were forced. They were It's called drafted to fight in Vietnam. And we don't do that anymore, but we could if we wanted to. Like, how many men in here are over 18 and had to sign up for selective service? Nasir, you're over Wilkerson, you're over 18, right?
Yeah.
Did you have to sign up for selective services? Like that makes you saying that you'll be drafted when you got your driver's license?
No.
You didn't do it? Oh man. Well, they made me do it.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, you can run away to Canada. Lots of people did that to get out of the war.
Rogers, what we supposed to write for 2?
For 2, this is your opinion. All right. There's no fixed answer. We're just talking about it. All right. Do you think these complaints would give people reason to go to war and possibly die? What,
but
Kendra?
the funny part is you always make it seem like she can. But
I said okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. That's number 2. And then number 3, the last thing that you have to do with me today. What is your opinion on the Declaration of Independence? Which historian do you agree with more? Do you agree more with Howie or do you agree more with Bernie? Do you agree more with Howie's negative perspective that talks about how people were excluded and how it was all about tricking poor people into fighting for rich people? Or do you agree more with Bernie, with Balin, saying, hey, look, the Declaration is all about protecting rights, protecting liberty, protecting freedom, and it shows all this potential that America had to be the most amazing, awesome country ever. Which of those 2 people do you agree with more?
What was the last person name?
The last person's name was... so there's Bernie. He's the positive one. All right, he's all about Bernard Balin. He's all about good things about the Declaration. It's about fighting for freedom. It's about fighting for liberty. It's about showing the potential that America has. And then the second one is Howard Zinn, Howie, and he's negative. He's all about like, look, we excluded these 3 people. We excluded women. We excluded black slaves. We excluded Indians. And then also it's all about getting rich people, tricking poor people into fighting their war. All right, who do you agree with more? There's no right or wrong answer here. Like professional historians, people who teach at big colleges, fancy colleges, bougie colleges, they disagree about this, okay? It's one of the most fundamental disagreements among historians. So there's no right or wrong answer. Like some people agree more with Howie, some people agree with Zinn. What? What was the question? I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
I said, who agree with this more? You said something about colleges.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm saying like people disagree. There's no right or wrong answer. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying, Ron. Like if you agree with Howie, that's okay. If you agree with Bernie, that's okay. Like you can either think the Declaration of Independence is awesome, like Bernie, or you can think it sucks, like Howie. Both of those perspectives are valid, is what I'm trying to say. There's no right or wrong answer. Does that make sense? It's entirely opinion or perspective, if we want to be more generous. All right. That is the lesson for today. All right. I'm going to give you all a little bit more time to write this up, and I'll answer your questions, and then I'll show you what you need to do for this week's assignments. There's 2 things that you need to do, but I'll give you all a couple more minutes to finish this up. Okay.
Wait.
there's 2 more things that you all need to do for this week. There's 2 things you need to do for this week.
Can you explain
So number 3,
again?
you're going to be giving your opinion. Who do you agree with more? Howie, who, with his negative opinion of the Declaration of Independence, saying that it was excluding people, saying it was about tricking rich people, tricking poor people into fighting their war? Or do you agree more with document A, with Bernie, with Bernard Balin, who's like, no, the Declaration is awesome. It's about freedom. It's about liberty. It's about protecting those things from bad people trying to take it away. And it's about showing that America has the potential to be the most awesome country that's ever done awesome country things. All right. These are the 2 perspectives that you need to say. And again, I just want to be clear. There's no right or wrong answer for this part. Okay. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. Does everybody got this? Does everybody understand what we did today?
Yep, I understand.
Are we good? Are folks good? You're good, Ron?
Yeah,
All
we're
right, cool.
good.
So what we want to go back over is we want to go back over to the checkpoint view. So this is part 1 of what you need to do for this week. All right, the checkpoint view is got the Declaration of Independence right here on the top. We want to click on it, and it takes us to here, which is checkpoint 3. Okay? On checkpoint 3. And you want to answer this question: what inspired the Founding Fathers to write the Declaration of Independence? Basically, you're going to be saying, I agree with either Bernie or Howie, and why? You're going to be saying, what inspired the founders to write the Declaration of Independence? All right? And you're going to be saying, do you agree more with document A, with Bernard Balin, with Bernie, saying the Declaration of Independence was awesome? It was inspired by freedom and liberty and rights and protecting all that good shit that everybody loves. And that America has all this potential to be the most amazing country in the world. Or do you agree with document B? Yes, with 1 paragraph. Yes, Tamai. Excellent question. You're doing all that in just 1 paragraph. Or do you agree with document B? Do you agree with Howard Zinn, with Howie, that no, the Declaration of Independence was bad. It was inspired by rich people trying to trick poor people into fighting this war for them. And then it excluded people. It excluded women. It excluded black slaves. It excluded Indians. They're all out. Nope. Which of these 2 do you agree with? And you just need to tell me in 1 paragraph. It's not a lot. You don't have to do any Googling. You don't have to do any additional reading. You literally need to only use the American Revolution task that we did together. Does that make sense to folks? What you're supposed to do for checkpoint 3? Does that make sense?
Yep, it makes sense.
Any questions?
I just turned in my checkpoint 1.
Awesome, Shayer. I will grade it once I get settled, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm about to turn in my Declaration of Independence 1.
Okay. All right. There's one more thing you need to do. I sat down with a very good friend of mine named Michael Haddam. He and I have been friends for a very long time. And we made this video about the Declaration of Independence where we talk more about it. We give you more details about it. We expand more about the stuff that we learned on today. So what I want you to do is I want you to watch this video. It's only about an hour, okay?
An hour?
Yeah, I know, an hour. But you can break it up over the whole week.
Shit. Who's that? Who's that other
That
person?
other person,
I seen that video.
the other person in the
Yeah.
video is my good friend Michael Haddam. He and I have been friends for 10 years. Whoa, that made me feel really old. He and I have been friends a very long time, and we used to. He's a professional historian. He teaches college at a college in Illinois. And I want you to watch us talk about the Declaration of Independence. All right? That's what the video is about. It's about an hour. You don't have to watch it all in one go. And then when you're done, I want you to answer these study questions based on the document. Or not document, based on the video. Okay? These study questions, they're the same as all the other study questions. You got the link right there. All right? It's the same kind of thing that we did. All right? I want you to watch the video and answer these study questions, okay? And it's as fun as these kind of videos can be, all right? It's a lot of us just talking about the Declaration, talking more about the kind of things that we learned today. It gives you more details about how the Declaration works and all that kind of stuff, all right? Does everybody understand the 2 things that you're supposed to do for this week?
Rogers, I wasn't listening. I'm not going to even fall.
They said we need access.
It says you need access. Are you using a Yes Philly email account?
Yeah.
What does it say?
It say requesting.
But what account does it say you're signed in as?
I don't know. Don't let me know.
sallen@yesphilly.org. All right. Well, I will share it directly with you, Shair. Allen.
I'm signing as S Allen 1 at yesphilly.org.
Yes. All right. Hold on. Okay.
Wait, what's that, Rogers?
Switch to here. Huh. Okay. I will figure out what's going on with that, and I will share a new link with people. Okay?
Okay. All right.
It'll be in the email. Okay? All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? I don't quite know what's going on.
You heard me, Roger?
What'd you say?
Raj, I'm gonna need you to send it straight to my email.
I'll send it to your email. Yep. There'll be the link with the email.
I'm about to leave.
Okay, that's fine, Shair. You're good to go. In fact, everybody's good to go unless they have questions for me. Okay.
I got a question.
All right. What's your question, Tehran?
I was gonna ask you, could you send like the stuff that was already due?
Yes, I can send the stuff that was already due to you again, like I did yesterday. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Raj.
No problem. All
right,
stay safe. What's going on?
All right.
I missed it. You said do the you said watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube. That's it. You don't gotta do nothing else after that.
You watch the video and answer the questions. Okay, which I for some reason did not copy properly, but I'm gonna fix that in a second.
Okay.
In fact, here I'm literally doing it in front of you guys, making sure that it's right. All right, get shareable link, and this is the fully functioning link. It should be right here. What do I say? My birthday is Friday, Mr. Rogers. Hey, happy birthday to happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tamai. Happy birthday to you.
I'm out, Raj.
All right, you know what you're supposed to be doing this here? You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Stay safe, buddy. All right.
All right, I'll let you.
Yep. I'll look for that email about an hour. All right. So Malika, did that clear it up for you?
Yeah. But how we gonna get the questions?
I'm gonna end this recording. So the questions are literally just shared with you.